Zimbabwe UFO 1996. Hi guys, I'm from a paranormal investigation team in the UK. We investigate haunted locations and anything to do with missing persons. I'm here today to tell you a terrifying story of a massive black triangle. The story comes from Zimbabwe. It was sent in by a man called Johan. He says he farms near Feathersdorp, about 150 kilometers from Harare. He's 31 years old. And on February 1996, he woke up from a bad dream. Just after midnight, he heard a car go past. He got up and looked out of the bedroom window. It faces the front of the farm. He watched as two cars passed each other, a bit of a strange sight. As he says, usually there are few vehicles to be seen and certainly none at night. One of the cars pulled into his gate. He thought, oh no, those guys are coming to pinch my new engine on the borehole. So he rubbed his eyes and face to make sure he wasn't still asleep. And he looked at the car again. He says it was long and wide and made a low humming sound. He could see lights at the back. A row of red lights and a front light which shone high enough to illuminate the treetops. The car, or object, stopped at his gate for a good 30 seconds and then drove on as if the gate had been opened. And that was it. It was gone. He took his torch, his rifle, 4 farm workers, and his dogs, and they all went out to the gate. Despite the fact it had just rained, there were no tire tracks or human tracks on the road. And as they approached the gate, he could feel heat coming up from the surface of the road, a really oppressive heat radiating from the ground. Even my ears felt flushed with the heat, and my workers and I were soaked with perspiration. It was about 12:30 hours by now, so when they found nothing further, they all went back home. It was only the following morning that it occurred to him that when they reached the gate, it was closed. This meant the car had disappeared through a closed gate because he had been watching it when it disappeared and the gate hadn't moved. The following day, he sent one of the farm workers to fetch some sheep who were lost in the bush, and on his way back, he said he saw an object straddling the road. By the time he reached the spot, it was gone, but strangely enough, the sheep would not walk over the area where the object had been. Instead, they divided around it. So what was this huge triangle that was spotted by Johan and his workers? Was it a UFO, perhaps? I've done a bit of research on black triangles. They're normally associated with UFO sightings. They're described as being cigar-shaped, sometimes with lights on the corners. They seem to be able to fly in any direction without banking or turning. They can change direction instantaneously. They seem to hover and remain stationary on the radar for a while, and then they accelerate and disappear from the radar. In some cases, people have reported seeing anti-gravity devices underneath these craft. There have been many famous black triangle sightings going back over 40 years. Perhaps the most famous ones being the Belgium ones in the late 80s and early 90s. There was even a TV documentary made about them. There was a series of UFO sightings in Belgium between 1989 and 1990. There were hundreds of sightings and thousands of people claimed to have seen these objects. These objects left behind strange marks in the crops and physical traces on the ground, but they were never explained by the government and to this day remain unexplained. So could this story sent in by Johan be one of these black triangles that were seen in Belgium all those years ago? Maybe. I really don't know. What do you think of this case? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you like this video, please click like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.